Today, I want to talk about something different. I don't want to talk about what the church has gotten wrong. I want to talk about what the church could be if we got it right. Not a perfect church, not a flawless institution, but a real one. An honest one. One that actually becomes what it was always supposed to be. Because here's what I believe. The church at its best is the most powerful force for human transformation on earth. Not a government program, not a social movement, not a self-help community, but the church, the real one, the one built on truth and grace and genuine love in action, has the power to do what nothing else can. To take broken people and make them whole. To take divided communities and bring them together. To take wounded, cynical, exhausted human beings and give them something worth living for again. We've seen it happen. In the early church, described in the book of Acts, people sold what they owned to make sure nobody in the community went without. They opened their homes, they shared their meals, they prayed together through the night. They were not perfect. They had conflict. They had failure. They had moments where they got it badly wrong. But they kept coming back to the thing that held them together, love for God and love for each other. And the world around them could not explain it. That is what the church could be again. So what does it look like when the church gets it right? It looks like a place where truth and grace work together. Not truth that wounds without healing. Not grace that comforts without challenging. But both at the same time in the same space. Where people are told the truth about who they are and loved deeply in the process of becoming something better. It looks like a place where the broken are not a ministry project. They are the mission. Where the person who walks in with addiction still present, marriage still broken, faith still fragile, is not managed from a distance, but embraced up close. Where their story, still in the middle, is as welcome as the one that already has a clean ending. It looks like a place where leaders are genuinely accountable, not leaders who are above correction, but leaders who are honest about their own limitations, who welcome challenge, who respond to failure with humility rather than defensiveness, who point people to Jesus, more than they point them to themselves. It looks like a place where people are truly known, not just greeted, not just welcomed, but known. Where someone notices when you haven't been there. Where someone calls because they genuinely care. Where your name is not just on an attendance register, but on the hearts of the people who do life with you. It looks like a place where growth is expected, but grace is extended at every stage of the journey. Where nobody is expected to arrive already whole. Where the process is honored as much as the destination. Where the person who falls is helped back up, not talked about. Where failure is not the end of belonging, but the beginning of restoration. And it looks like a place where every person understands they are not just a recipient of the community, they are a builder of it. Because this is where I want to land. The church does not change because leaders decide to do better. It changes because the people inside it decide to be different. Every person who chooses to move toward someone instead of away. Every person who chooses to speak truth with grace instead of judgment. Every person who chooses to stay present with someone long after the crisis has passed. Every person who chooses to be the kind of community member they always needed someone to be for them. That is how the church changes. Not from the top down, from the inside out. So let me close this series with the most important question of all. Not what should the church be, but what kind of church member are you willing to become so that someone else can experience the community you always needed? Because the church you've been looking for, the safe one, the honest one, the one that makes broken people whole, will not build itself. It is built by people who have been through enough to know what it should feel like and who are committed enough to make sure it does. That could be you. That should be you. So don't just find the right church, be part of building one. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What does your dream church community look like? And what is one thing you are willing to do? If this series spoke to you, share the whole video with someone who needs it. Because somewhere out there is a person who has given up on church, and this series might be the thing that changes their mind. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging. And keep growing.